Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hey, thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Peter Doocy confronted Jen Psaki yesterday on the vaccine hypocrisy with the illegal aliens in Del Rio, Texas. Kind of interesting. Peter Doocy doing a great job.
Totally.
As the White House correspondent. He is always putting her on the spot.
I love it.
And he did it again yesterday.
The foreign nationals who are walking into Del Rio, Texas, and setting up camps on this side of the border for proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
Well, first of all, I can readdress for you or re-talk you through what steps we take.
That is the policy for people who fly into the country. So if somebody walks into the country, right across the river, does somebody ask them to see their vaccination card?
Well, let me explain to you again, Peter, how our process works. As individuals, come across the border, they are both assessed for whether they have any symptoms. If they have symptoms, the intention is for them to be quarantined. That is our process. They're not intending to stay here for a lengthy period of time. I don't think it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. These are individuals, as we've noted and as we've been discussed. We are expelling individuals based on Title 42. Specifically because of COVID, because we want to prevent a scenario where large numbers of people are gathering, posing a threat to the community and also to the migrants themselves. So those are the policies that we put in place, in large part because, again, the CDC continues to recommend Title 42 be in place, given we're facing a global pandemic.
Where's the vice president on any of this? Isn't she supposed to be addressing the root causes of migration?
Absolutely, and she has been addressing the root causes of migration by working with countries in the region to ensure they have the assistance they need to reduce the number of people who are coming and trying to make those journeys across the border. We've actually seen some reductions in some of those numbers. That doesn't change the fact that this is a very challenging situation in Del Rio. We're working to implement our policies, and we're working to ensure we are also addressing root causes.
Just a quick one on boosters.
I love it.
Wow. Not a word of sense there. Not one word did she make any sense. She just answers different questions every time she's put on the spot like that.
And she always makes it about the individual asking it. Well, since you obviously don't understand it, since you're stupid.
Let me help you understand because you're such a moron. Yeah, talk down to us a little bit more. That would be great if you would.
I'm surprised that Democrats are they're taking advantage of a Trump-era policy because they're running out of time to be able to deport these Haitians. And so that's why they're scrambling to fly them out so quickly. But I'm surprised that they didn't just incorporate that town and make it like Bidenville, Texas, where they could, help turn Texas blue.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting there that you have to play by, as with everything in the COVID era, you have to play by different rules than anybody else. You have to prove your vaccination status. You have to...
Yeah. American citizens are under all these restraints and restrictions, all of this oppression. But if you came here illegally, you're under no such regulations. Don't worry about it. You can just go anywhere you want, do anything you want. If you're coming from Central and South America, we might house you for a couple of nights, and then we're just going to set you free. If you pinky promise to show up for a hearing, then we'll just let you go. And sometimes you don't even have to pinky promise you're going to show up for a hearing. We let you go anyway. So it's a pretty good deal for them.
Yeah. And just look at this imagery from down there. Do you have the picture, Rob, look at this today. Look at this. That does not look like the United States of America at all.
No. You know what it looks like? It looks like South Africa.
It looks like, yes.
We visited South Africa, going on 10 years ago now, and it was part of the Israel trip when we did the big event in Israel. But then we went to South Africa as well. And when you drive through parts of Cape Town, we didn't go to Johannesburg. I'm sure it's the same situation there. But you see shanty towns like this. I mean, that stretch on and on and on. That's exactly what this looks like.
United States of America, right there. Oh, and
wow.
And a lot of these migrants I guess they were displaced, over a decade ago from the earthquake.
Yeah.
And they've been hanging out in Central America.
Right.
Okay.
And some of them have built good lives there. I was told in an article. Then stay. What are you doing here? What?
Well, they want to go and make every place better.
Ah, okay.
Every place they go, they've got.
All right.
Yeah, so it's working out for them. Bring their charm and abilities here.
Yeah, here's that article. The Haitian migrants have done well for themselves since leaving their country many more than a decade ago. They built lives in Chile, Brazil, Panama. They had homes and cars. They had stable jobs as bank tellers, welders, mine supervisors, gas station attendants. Okay, well then, good. You built a nice life. Enjoy it. Don't then just come here expecting us to make it even better for you. They longed for the possibility of a better life in the United States under a president who had protected Haitians in the United States from deportation, and many believed would relax entry requirements. So they sold their belongings, left their jobs, and pulled their kids out of school and headed north. I'm sorry, none of that is our fault. They made choices, and then there are consequences when that doesn't go the way you expected it to. Again, why didn't you stay? You built yourself a life. Live it.
Yeah, and so many of them obviously don't want to go back, especially...
Well, no, because they sold all their stuff.
Right.
Now they got nothing.
And now they're going to go back to Haiti, where they haven't been in over a decade.
10 years.
Yeah, and it's like, what's waiting for them there? What a mess.
It is a mess.
Should have stayed put.
Sure is. Wow. Some said they've never even talked to an immigration agent. Others said they've been tricked, told they were being released or sent to Florida. What? And instead packed on a plane to Port-au-Prince, where they landed on Sunday. Did they really do that to them? What if they did that? Yeah, we're gonna fly you to Florida now. Give you some tickets to Disney World. Just get on this plane.
Well, Disney World?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You and your whole family, your whole neighborhood, in fact, all going to Disneyland. And then they landed in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
We were, your audience on Twitter last night were coming up with names for that shanty town there, and I think Tyler from Daring Media, his was Porta Biden instead
That's
of
good.
Port-au-Prince. I like that one a lot. Yeah.
Good. Nicodeme Viles, 45 years old, been living in Panama since 2003, and now all of a sudden he up and comes to the United States. Why? Again, you've been there for 18 years. He said, I thought the United States was a big country with laws. Well, yeah,
You're
we are.
being
That's
introduced to them.
Yeah, that's why you can't come here illegally. They treated us terribly. They didn't even give me an interview with an immigration agent. What am I going to do? I don't know this country. I don't know this country anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, get in line.
How long's he known it? 5 minutes? How long have they been in camp there?
I don't know.
My goodness.
I don't know. He and about 300 other Haitians who landed Sunday were among the first of some 14,000 immigrants who authorities in the country expect over the next 3 weeks. And Haiti doesn't want them back. Haiti said, don't bring them here.
Yeah, and how dare those Border Patrol guards with the whips, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're just riding around on horseback, whipping people. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the whip. Yeah, those are called reins.
Oh.
He didn't hit anybody with him. This is the footage that Psaki said was hard to watch.
Yeah. Ilhan Omar, too, the voice of conscience.
Oh, yeah, this is impossible to watch. People walking around, him spinning his reins.
He's trying to keep him back.
And he didn't hit anybody. He didn't hit anybody.
Wait, I think this is the one. No, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, there's one where like the guy falls down, but he wasn't hit from what I saw. But anyway, they
don't even carry whips.
Yeah,
they don't have whips.
Sovereign U.S. border there.
My gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Being overrun, as it always is.
Yeah, there were no whips, by the way. Yes.
No whips.
No whips.
That's why that was so hard to watch.
I also wanted to...
Uh-oh.
What'd you want to do?
I don't know.
Bill Maher trying to get in.
Needs to back off. Conversation. We're not asking you about the border. We're asking you about taxes, and that's later in the program, sir.
I know he's becoming conservative, but back off the show a little bit. All right? You got your own.
Right.
Getting a little hoggish there.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, another day in America, and, another chaos story. What's next?
I don't know. I hate to even speculate.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea not to do that.
Jeez.
It's fun.
Some have described the long march, across a stretch of jungle along the border between Panama and Colombia called the Darien Gap, saying they stumbled past the cadavers of fellow travelers. Yeah, it's a dangerous journey. Don't take it. Especially if you built yourself a nice life since 2003. Stay there. I saw this guy lying down. I thought he was asleep, but when I touched him, I found he was dead. Said Claire Bazil, who left the life she'd built over 6 years in Chile's capital, Santiago, and traveled for 2 months carrying her son to reach the United States. There's no sense of personal responsibility or accountability here. None whatsoever. They just came here, so we have to do something for them. Despite receiving billions of dollars in reconstruction aid after a devastating earthquake, Haiti is a dangerous and politically turbulent country. Armed gangs control many areas. Poverty and hunger are rising. Country's few institutions are so underfunded as to seem meaningless in its parliament, with only 11 elected officials still in office. Was stunned this summer, of course, by the assassination of their president. And if you know that, you know what's going on in your home country, what a weird time to all of a sudden drop everything that you had in your life in Panama or Chile or Brazil or wherever you were. And then all of a sudden, now I'm coming to the United States. When we've got so many problems of our own right now.
Yeah. And I noticed so many, like migrant after migrant crossing over. They've got earbuds in. They're holding their cell phones up to keep them from getting wet in the river.
Built a nice life.
Right. It's like, what are you doing? It's not like you're complete.
Right. That's right. And yet, we're expected to welcome them with open arms. Come on in.
Somebody should make a meme out of that. Of like the migrants like wading through the Rio Grande, holding up their cell phone to keep them getting wet, put a circle around it. I'm so impoverished, I have to keep my cell phone from getting wet in the river.
Because I can't afford another $1,100.
Right.
To buy a new one right now.
I didn't get the insurance on my phone. What a mess.
Plus, I'm busy sneaking across the U.S. border. I haven't seen an Apple location in I don't know how many miles.
You got to get inland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see.
There's not that many Apple stores. That's one of the things I'm going to sue the U.S. government over. There's not many Apple locations under this bridge in Del Rio, Texas. Where are the Apple stores?
I'm going to find the closest Apple store down there. Maybe that's all they're doing. Maybe they just need to cross. It's a shorter distance up to the South Texas Apple store than to hike it down south wherever, the other one is.
Maybe.
And so they're just going to take care. They're going to wait in line for, 5 hours and then go home. I'm sure that's what it'll be.
Not a problem.
I'm going to find the Apple store down there.
All right. Do that.
I'll let you know.
Meantime, let me tell you about a way you can snack throughout the day and not have to feel really guilty about it because you destroyed whatever kind of diet you're on or healthy living program you're trying to do, or you just don't want to eat junk during the day. Try Built Bar. Built Bar tastes like candy bars, but they're really low in calories, only 180 calories or less, and 4 to 5 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 net carbs, but 18 grams of protein. Great flavors. Coconut, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, cookies and cream, lots more. They've got the Rocky Road everybody's raving about. Plus, they're just good people. They're just an excellent company. Yeah, I'm a little partial to them because they supported BYU with their new contract for 125 BYU football players. But what they did is they wanted to help the ones who were struggling without scholarships. And, couldn't afford to get through college, and it was difficult on them between their studies and football and all of that. So they took care of them by paying their tuition. Really, really awesome. Really awesome. And now you can get Built Bars even faster. You don't have to type the BAR. It's just Built.com. So easy. Go to Built.com. Use the promo code PAT15. You'll save 15% off your first order. Use the promo code PAT15 for 15% off at Built.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah, bad news. Bad news for the migrants there, Pat. The nearest Apple store that I can find from Del Rio, Texas, is they crossed at the wrong spot. Mm-hmm. They got to get to El Paso. That's
Is that closer than like Houston or Dallas?
Let's see here. You know what? Yeah, you know what? There's Houston. There's a Sugarland location.
Yeah,
you could do that one. So yeah, good call there. Oh, a couple in San Antonio.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so they're just a couple hours. My bad. Del Rio to San Antonio, and then after they take care of their phones, they can hike back across.
Exactly. Which I'm sure they would if they pinky promised. You know, because they're people of their word. Mm-hmm. 888-900-3393, also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Speaking of people of their word, how about Mayor London Breed explaining her partying with BLM, maskless.
Yeah.
I was there, I was eating, and I was drinking, she said, while trying to explain her behavior.
Not in the video we've got. She's in the back there.
And I was sitting with my friends. Okay, she's dancing. No. She's standing up dancing.
She got her hands up. They're empty.
No.
She's singing. She's not eating. Look at all that air
And they're indoors, and not a single person has a mask on that I could see.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that was your rule.
That was her rule. That was her rule. Oh, and by the way, it shouldn't be lost in this story. She's partying with BLM leaders.
Jeez, yeah. She repeatedly emphasized to reporters that everyone there was vaccinated. Well, so what? Her own edict is that you have to be vaccinated and wear a mask. The fact that we've turned this into a story about being maskless, she continued. No, I'm not going to sip and put on my mask on, and then sip and put my mask on, sip and put my mask on. On and on. She eat and put my mask on. And yes, in the time while we were drinking like everyone else there, we were all having a good time, and again, all vaccinated. This is now a distraction. No, this is now another example of the flaming hypocrisy of you absolute buffoon tyrants. I'm so tired of it.
Wow.
We don't need the fun police to come in.
That's what we've been saying for a year and a half.
And try and micromanage us and tell us what we should or shouldn't be doing. That's what she is doing to the residents of her city. But not for her, by golly. Not for her.
Oh.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Oh.
So then, you think about what went on at the Emmys. Uh-huh. As they broke their own mask rule again.
County.
And even Seth Rogen was saying, what are we doing here? He was hosting the Emmys. What are we doing here? We're all maskless, and we're in tight quarters, and there's a roof on this place. Has anybody noticed we're indoors? Yeah, but that's okay, because they weren't breaking the rules, because they're stars.
Uh-huh. That's basically the reasoning given. But I think it was the LA County Health Department.
Yeah. It doesn't apply to stars. It doesn't apply to the TV and movie industry.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Literally, that's what it was. They just up and admitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, they're better than you people.
Well, they said it
doesn't apply to them.
It's a TV production. Oh, shut up.
Health Department tells TMZ, yes, the current mandate in LA requires everyone to wear a mask indoors, whether vaccinated or unvaccinated. But it also says exceptions are made for film, TV, and music productions. Oh, okay. So actors and actresses don't have to wear masks. That is unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
I love it, man. I tell you.
They just fully admitted it there.
What have we learned so far in the first moments of this show today? We've got the hypocrisy Jen Psaki was saying about how, so immigrants can get away with stuff that you can't. Mm-hmm. We've got the politicians partying in the nightclub, not wearing masks, even though that her very own edict that she signed requires it. And now we've got Hollywood, who is, of course, the propaganda arm of the government, who's always telling us, gotta go get vaccinated. It doesn't apply to them. Oh, and I'm sure you would love this. The Met, the little event at the Met there, where AOC wore her Tax the Rich dress, which, by the way, the designer for that dress has tax problems. Ironic.
Yep.
But $10 million in taxpayer funds went to the Met. So you paid for that place to their...
But only 10 million.
Just only the 10 million.
Okay. So it wasn't 10 billion, right?
Well, when you say it like that,
we don't even pay attention unless it's a trillion now. So, I mean, that's so much less than any amount we'd care about.
Yeah, 10 million is kind of...
That's nothing.
You're
it's like
right.
I spit on $10 million. I spit on it. You put a stack of $10 million here, I'll spit on it.
If I had $10 million, well, I certainly wouldn't bring it here and put it on the desk in front of you, but I would like to see that, kind of.
Okay.
What? I don't know how this society survives.
I don't either.
With this blatant hypocrisy.
Yeah, they're flat out admitting it now. Yeah, you know what? That doesn't apply to them. They're better than you. Oh, okay.
while they are taking your money under threat of force to use for their little parties and shindigs so that they don't have to follow the rules. I mean, it's literally like our society is held together by duct tape and bubble gum at this point.
The one thing we can say is at least we're not Australia yet.
Oh, no.
Australia is, wow, have they gone off the deep end.
Yeah.
And so their leaders talking about, these mandates and blah, blah, blah. And, you know what? The booster thing might become mandated as well next year. Listen to this just matter-of-fact announcement that he makes to the Aussies.
These sorts of passports are designed to do exactly that. They won't be there forever. I can't say, as I stand here right now, how long it'll be on, how long it'll be a feature of things.
Right.
But, arguably, it won't be a vaccine passport you'll be showing in the first half of next year. It'll be your booster passport to show that you've been to have your third jab and that you've still got the protection that comes from either AstraZeneca, Moderna, or Pfizer.
Oh, okay. So you won't have to show your vaccine passport next year. You're going to have to show a further passport. Your vaccine passport will mean nothing. Did you get your booster shot? That's what you're going to have show proof of. The third shot.
3 shots.
And proof of the third shot. They're going to mandate that too? Are you kidding me? So they don't even know scientifically, frankly, if that's even necessary or healthy or safe or whatever. There's just too little research on it. They have no idea right now. And then you're going to mandate a third shot and make people carry around their papers for that.
Here's my booster passport. Can you see my 3 shots? There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3 right there.
Huh.
Oh boy, this is not good. This only gets worse.
That's crazy. I mean, that's and he's saying it like, man.
Whatever.
Well, it's so matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to. And then, by the beginning of, by the middle of next year, you won't be showing your proof of your third shot. You'll be showing your fourth shot proof.
Like a little punch card.
Yeah. And so on. And so when the fourth shot becomes irrelevant and it fades, then you have to get your fifth. Wow. We've already seen that. They're going to do it. They will do it.
And he says it not only as a matter of fact, but he also says, like, he doesn't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't got my marching orders yet. Did you get your marching orders yet? So when we get our marching orders, we'll tell you, okay? But right now, I don't know. We're just going to do what we're told.
Won't be forever. Maybe. I don't know.
We're going to do what we're told, and then we expect you to do what you're told. Next question.
Lemmings and sheep. Is that what we're going to be? Just lemmings and sheep.
What
and
a
just
nightmare.
Follow along with absolutely every mandate and edict
when do we
comes
wake
down
up?
the line.
When do we wake up from this nightmare?
I don't know. I really don't. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. You couldn't have seen this coming just a few short years ago. In 2019, when we thought things were so bad, you couldn't have imagined this scenario. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It hurts.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Top earning New Yorkers could face 61.2% combined taxation rates under the new House plan. California's about 59%.
Oh, a bargain for Californians then.
Yeah, you just have to pay almost 60% of your income to the government. But they're allowing you to keep 40%. How much do you want, you selfish pigs? How much do you want?
Well, I want 100%, but I'm really selfish.
You're a terrible person.
It's like an only child thing. I
Why
think.
do you hate the poor? Why?
Well, I could. How much time you got?
Not enough, probably.
Okay.
Not enough. The proposals included 3% surtax on taxpayers earning more than $5 million a year. They would also raise the top marginal income tax rate to 39.6%. The plans would preserve the 3.8% net investment income tax and extend it to certain pass-through companies. Wow. The result is a top marginal federal income tax rate of 46.4%.
So they don't have enough people moving out?
Yeah, they need more.
More reason
leave.
to do that? Okay. I love this. Democrat control, baby.
That is crazy. The House plan is still a proposal, could change, yet the combined rates for New York City would be among the highest in nearly 40 years.
Gross.
Bill Maher actually talking about it on his show, and he had some thoughts on AOC's tax the rich.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the guy he's getting
situation.
pushback on, I think is Dan Savage, some liberal podcaster.
Okay.
And I was glad Bill Maher didn't back down. It's good stuff.
Nice.
I also wanted to show the picture of AOC wearing her dress because this got all the attention this week. This is something that, the Met Gala attracts lots of crazy outfits. But this is a new thing that people have been doing. They've been wearing, I guess, their message, their life philosophy, tax the rich. I just want to read I had some sets here. Oh, New York City, 65,000, the richest 65,000 New Yorkers out of 8 million people pay 51% of taxes.
And what proportion is that?
I'm just saying, 65,000 out of 8 million pay half.
And their taxes
so it's
are
not
still,
like we don't tax the rich at all.
Right. Thank you,
We've
Bill.
been slashing taxes on the rich for 50 years,
Yeah,
though.
okay.
The rich are richer now than they have ever been, and the lie we've been told the whole time we've been cutting taxes on the rich was that if the rich just have the most money they can possibly have, we will all benefit, we will all have jobs, and it's a lie, and it hasn't come true. And we need to go back to the high tax rates that we used to have.
That's fine. I'm all for ending income inequality, but let's not lie. The rich pay a lot of the taxes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he just got through saying 65,000 people in a state of 20 million pay half of the 51% of the taxes. That was his point. 65% of New Yorkers pay 51% of the
65,000 individuals.
Yeah, 65,000 individual New Yorkers. What did I say?
65% of New Yorkers.
Oh, I did. 65,000 individuals pay 51%.
Like, I think it's 0.01% of the population, something like that.
Pays 51% of the tax burden, and you want that to be more?
But what we've been told, look, we've been cutting taxes for 50 years, and we were told
they're richer than they've ever been.
Oh, shut up, you.
Well, no. What happened was, at some points in our history, they've been taxed at such ridiculous rates that it's immoral. I mean, you're talking about 90% rates for the rich.
And you just read a story completely separate from what Bill Maher was talking about.
Jeez.
That's the Congress talking about jacking up taxes too. So the people that are already paying 51% of the taxes they're about to get hit with a bigger federal burden too.
Right. Right.
Stop.
And I mean, that doesn't make an impact on this buffoon liberal blogger that 65,000 people pay 51% of the tax burden?
Well, what's the proportion?
Well,
he just told
you the proportion.
I don't know what else you need, man.
He told it to you. Wow. Unbelievable. What does it take to get it through these Marxists' heads? Amazing. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. What about him? Weird. Guess that's all you had to say.
Yeah, that is weird.
All right.
I left you hanging.
Yeah. Thought there was more to that, though.
Never is.
Rarely, anyway. Yeah. All right. Got some tweets here. Biden's cup of meds. Tweets, Democrats' logic. Fly in, and you're here for long term. Walk 1,000 miles to get here. You're just visiting. Barry Jackson. Today, I identify as an illegal alien. No passport or vaccine required.
Okay.
That's what you do. Yes, identify as. I've been Vanden schmoozled. I intended to comply with all the government mandates. Does that count? And they're not intending to stay for a lengthy period of time? Is she high? Do they drug test for that job? I didn't know they saw the U.S. as a transit country.
Right. Oh, yeah, they're just headed to Canada.
Sure.
Trudeau won, by the way.
They voted on Monday, right? Because they're Canadians. Yeah. They don't know any better.
Anyway.
Yeah, you vote on Tuesday, Canadians. Okay? You vote on Tuesday. So he won.
Yeah, but he didn't get his...
he didn't get the parliament majority or whatever parliamentary majority he was looking for?
Yeah, it was no better for him.
Jeez, I can't believe still keeping that guy. What does the matter with people?
Yeah, let's see. Fails short... Yeah, whatever. Canada.
Dang it. Who cares? Cardi T... Again, it's a stupid system, though. We tried to show you the way. And you just didn't get it. Okay? We can't help you anymore. Cardi T tweets, Psaki is genuinely irritated that she has to answer questions for the press. Yeah, and here's the thing. It's her job, and she's irritated by it. I love it.
That's fun.
She's looking forward to the day when the only media outlets in America are government-sanctioned ones. Being a Dem means never having to say you're sorry. Isn't that the truth? Zippy the Jackhole Monkey tweets, vaccine punch card. Do we get a free coffee or Blockbuster movie rental when we get 5? Oh. No. You get the toaster oven.
You get a toaster oven?
Get a toaster oven.
Can I choose?
No. You're just the toaster oven. If you don't want that, then don't play the game.
Can I? Okay. Well, then I don't want a toaster oven.
All right.
Can I get a lollipop?
No.
What do you mean?
If you go to the doctor's office, get your lollipop.
See, a lot of people are talking about, we talk about the punch card. I can't do this, but this is the vaccine card. You know how they've got the one shot, second dose there? They're saying that, hey, look, they've already got the open spaces. They've got the blank lines there for your boosters. A lot of people have messaging me on Twitter at Keith Malinak. Somebody else showed me a screenshot from an app, unverified, from like Spain or something. And it's got like eight spots for doses.
I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming.
I love this world. It's awesome.
Why wouldn't it? Because if these first 2 shots aren't effective, they lose their effectiveness after 6 months. What makes you think that the third shot is going to last forever? It's probably not, right?
If you want to be,
probably
we've said this,
not.
If you want to be a citizen in good standing, you're going to have to be up on your COVID shot.
Yes, and not just the initial vaccination. You're going to have to be up on your booster shots, too, or you're not going to be able to function in society and go about your daily life the way you want to.
Does that mean people will now leave me alone? If I don't have the
If you don't go anywhere, they'll leave you alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I think you'd be able to go home and come to work. And
come to work?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I don't think Tyler's going to force us to get that
I'm not talking about Tyler. I'm just talking about people in general.
Yeah.
The world's getting smaller and smaller, but it was good to see the General Dynamics Corporation with the pushback. When 40% of their employees said, I'm not getting the vax. And so they're like, 40%. Okay, no mandate here. Sorry, I'm just playing.
That's a pretty high percentage.
I love it.
40%. Wow. Yeah, you can't just lose 40% of your employees like that.
And isn't that the bottom line of everything in this world? The almighty dollar. And a company that size, General Dynamics, can't function when half of its workforce says, I'm not playing your game. Okay, we're going to need to adjust this. That was a joke.
Yeah, we were just kidding.
Just joshing you.
You didn't think we were really going to be tyrants like that, did you?
No, but you know what this means.
Come on now.
You're not going to be eligible for your free toaster now.
Yeah, you can't get the toaster oven. That's out.
See?
The toaster oven we're going to have to keep it.
Surprised more people didn't sign up. When I heard there was a free toaster involved.
I know, because that's a good item.
Was it a high end? Like it had like a little LED display on it and stuff?
No.
Oh, well then.
No, it's the old style.
Now I can see why.
It's the old-fashioned one.
No one's going to play that game.
What do you want us to invest $30 in these things? No, it's not that high tech. All right. 888-933-93. A 3-judge panel just ruled that showing ID to vote is racist. A 3-judge panel in North Carolina struck down a voter identification law passed in the state, once again trotting out the tired argument that such a law discriminates against blacks. That is the racism. That you're saying that if you're asking blacks to show ID, they can't. That's racist. Wow. Not the fact that we're asking them to show their ID, that we know they have it. Because they can and do. And 80% of them favor voter ID laws. But in a 2-1 ruling issued Friday, the Wake County Superior Court concluded that the Republican lawmakers who passed the law were motivated, at least in part, by an unconstitutional intent to target African-American voters? What? Oh, my gosh.
So it's intent now.
Oh, my.
We're reading people's minds to make rulings.
And where do you get that? First of all, again, that's a racist point of view. Mm-hmm. The law requires that state residents present a photo ID in order to vote. Was first enacted in December 2018 after a supermajority of Republican state representatives overrode a veto by Democrat Governor Roy Cooper. But now the law has been rendered unenforceable. My gosh.
So the Republicans get power, and under the guise of we want safe and secure elections, that we can believe in the results, but no, it's actually racist.
Yep. Yeah, I can't. It's hard to believe. It really is hard to believe. And why is it that Republicans find it important to show your ID when you go to the voting booth? Well, what happened in California last week?
What happened?
Some people at one of the California precincts showed up, just this couple. They show up and they say, okay, we're here to vote. Show them their ID. Oh, I'm sorry, you've already voted. No, we didn't. Well, yeah, you're listed here. We've got you already covered. You already voted. And so they started inquiring with the polling people, with the workers there, about what was going on. And they were told 70% of the people who came into that location had already voted.
I wonder which way they voted, Pat.
I do too. I really wonder. Because it's hard to imagine that it would have been for Democrats. And that it would have been no on the recall. Isn't it? It's hard to imagine that. I'm sure that wasn't the case. I'm sure they all went in there and voted yes on the recall. And so I thought, okay, well, anybody can say this, right? Well, they've actually got some video evidence of it. Here they are recording their conversation with some of the polling officials.
Said we got your vote and it's counted. After the election was over.
Yeah, it took about 30 days for them to do that.
This won't even work.
But it works because they counted during that time.
No.
Nice shoes, though.
Okay, so let me understand. About 70% of the votes at this location have been shown as already casted when they were not.
This is horrible. They look familiar, by the way.
And my only option at this point is to fill out one of these.
No, you have two options. You can fill the provisional.
Okay, which I don't want to do.
Or you can go to another center like maybe Pierce College.
Okay.
And vote there.
This is my center. I live next door.
Wow.
Yeah, well, this is for the entire LA County, but yeah. I hear what you're saying. It is closer.
So these systems
it is frustrating.
You're the supervisor. Yes. Did you report this?
Yes.
So they know it all the way up.
Yes. It's gone all the way up.
Do you think that matters?
Well, we're going to be getting some help about this one because yes, it seems to be
I think people like us need to report this to election board for the GOP and all that.
Okay, it's kind of difficult to understand all the things they're saying. And it's as lovely as it is to look at their shoes.
Which you're right, they are nice shoes.
But they're nice shoes. Mm-hmm. That's incredible to me. And they were also told that was happening at multiple precincts where 70%-ish of the people who came in were told, oh, yeah, you already voted. Well, how do you stop that? I don't know. Make them show a proof of who they are at the polling place. Here's my ID. And if they can't do that, then they can't vote.
And stop with the mass mail-in ballot crap.
Right.
Jeez. Early voting, my gosh. There's so much time to... I'm certainly not saying it's ever happened. I'm saying if you wanted to steal an election, let's stretch out...
That'd be the way to do it, wouldn't it?
Let's stretch out how much time you have from the beginning of the vote count to the end. Hypotheticals only here, YouTube.
Right. Yeah, we would never say that actually happened.
Right.
Anytime, in any place.
Does anyone honestly
have...
in
2020, nobody would ever say that. Nobody would say that.
No. Certainly not me. Does anyone have any kind of confidence in the integrity of our elections in America anymore?
I think a lot of people have lost confidence in the process right now. Sadly.
That's a good way to spin it. Yeah, we've lost confidence.
Mm-hmm.
There we are.
And that's why what you just saw is another example of why we see so many weird things that you can't help but think, all right, well, some of these are true. Some of these are actually happening. That looks pretty legitimate.
And these were Republican areas?
Huh. Yeah. So.
Well, it's a good thing California is obviously squarely behind their governor and wanted him back.
Isn't it, though?
Obviously.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, let me tell you about Moink. This is a great way to get meat. This is such delicious meat, beef, chicken, pork, really good things. Oh, didn't you get salmon or something?
Yeah, well, that is excellent, yes. So the best salmon ever. But the bone-in ribeye, I think it is, right?
Oh, I love the bone-in ribeye. So flavorful. You know, you keep that bone in it, that's flavor.
Seriously, man.
That's flavor right there.
I didn't know live until I had that.
If you could see and taste the steak from moinkbox.com, you'd order it right this second. But for now, we'll just have to tell you that we have seen it and tasted it.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely delicious.
So good.
You've got to get moinkbox.com. They deliver grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pasteurized pork and chicken, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, which is why it's so good. Yeah. Not one of those, farm situations.
Yeah. You don't want salmon that's been swimming around in like a toilet or something.
Yeah,
you
exactly. You want them in their natural environment. Growing and getting delicious. Direct to your door, helping family farms become financially independent outside of big agriculture. Just so good. Sign up at moinkbox.com/unleashed to get a year of bacon for free, and then pick what meats you want delivered with your first box. Change what you get each month and cancel any time, so you're under no long-term obligation. It is so good. Moink meat is delicious. I love it, and you will too. Get Moink right now. Go to moinkbox.com. That's moinkbox.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
/Unleashed, by the way. moinkbox.com/unleashed. All right? All right. Just trying to right all the wrongs of the world, and it's difficult to do in a 2-hour show, but we're getting to as many of the problems and solving as many of them as we can. Now we get into the administration's continual nightmare on Afghanistan and what happened with the big drone strike that killed 10 civilians. Just so sad. And these things happen, and they happened under Bush, and they probably happened under Trump, and we just didn't hear about a lot of things at the time. But this has gone so badly in so many ways, the Afghanistan withdrawal. And we were told initially, we got them. No, we killed those 3 suicide bombers in their car. No, they didn't touch anybody from ISIS-K. No terrorists lost their life, just these 10 civilians, including 7 children. So Jen Psaki is asked about it yesterday, and her response is unbelievable, as always.
The drone strike last week that the Pentagon now admits was a tragic mistake. What was the president's response when he learned about that?
Well, the president was briefed on Friday morning about the report that was going to be released and put out. I would say first the president's view and all of our view is that the loss of any civilian life is a tragedy, as was made clear in the comments by the Secretary of Defense, by General McKenzie. This was done in error, and clearly the investigation that will continue is something the president broadly supports. So as a human being, as a president, as somebody who has overseen loss in a variety of scenarios, both as a leader and personally,
Are you kidding me?
it is his reaction is it's a tragedy, and every loss is a tragedy, and he supports the effort to move this forward as quickly as possible and to have a thorough investigation.
They're trying to get him off the hook. All right, pause it for a second. They're trying to get him off the hook because his son died. We're going back to that again?
Wow.
We are going back to Beau Biden again! Stop it. Despicable buffoons. Stop it. Wow. I can't believe how often they make it. He makes it about him. She makes it about him. Everybody's loss is about Joe Biden and his loss of his son.
Yeah, so if the answer from Jen Psaki isn't going after the reporter asking it, then it's playing the...
Yes, the sympathy card. I lost my son in 2015. I lost my wife in 1972. Come on! Stop it. Despicable. These are just despicable people. It is not about Joe freaking Biden and his dead son. I'm sorry that happened, but you can't keep using that. Wow. Unbelievable. And what a nightmare for everybody who has lost someone in Afghanistan in the last 20 years or Iraq, and they see this three-ring circus going on every single day with Psaki and Biden and the excuses and the it's all about me stuff. Wow, that's got to be painful for Gold Star families. Wow. 888-900-3393. And of course, no explanation as to what happened or whose head is going to roll. And I mean, the reporter goes on to ask, is anybody going to lose their job over this? And of course, she sidesteps that answer as well, as always. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Great to have you with us. Got some tweets here. Novocaine for the soul tweets, Pat, I can't believe how racist you are for not seeing fake racism claims as racist. You racist? Yeah. Okay.
You got that?
Probably.
Put that in your pipe.
Yeah. Squatching Duck tweets, I'd love to have them explain how the rich giving more of their money to the federal government will help them or anyone else with income inequality.
Thank you.
I'd love that explained as well. The government will just take that money, waste it instantly, and borrow more. Yeah. Stand up, Chuck. Let them see you. Tweets. I was expecting a plush talking Anthony Fauci doll with your 5th booster shot.
Oh, yeah.
Pull the string in here. Take your vax, plebe. Take your vax, plebe. That's what they were hoping.
That's what I want.
Yeah, you don't
now
get that.
I'm gonna.
That's way too valuable. We can't throw that out there for free.
Yeah, 5 shots.
The Right Meme tweets, so Democrats are all about welfare and handouts from A to Z, but no one ever talks about how to give minorities an ID. Do they not want them to have IDs? Wow. Racists.
Yep.
And from Eric White, at least Biden is consistent on his continual blunders in Afghanistan. Yeah, it is true. It's one after another, that's for sure. 70% of Americans are calling Afghanistan withdrawal a national humiliation, which it is. 7 out of 10 Americans feel shameful over President Biden's bungled withdrawal from Afghanistan that left hundreds behind. Hundreds. It's more like thousands. We think there's 4,000 to 6,000 Americans left behind. And naturalized citizens in the hands of the Taliban. The latest Rasmussen Reports survey said 70% agreed that the Biden withdrawal was a national humiliation. 51% strongly agreeing with that sentiment. And that's not the only feeling of shame and anger. Republicans aren't the only ones. 56% of Democrats agree that it was something to be ashamed of.
Wow.
How about that?
There's still that little glimmer of common sense.
Yeah.
On the left.
Yep. This one was so glaring and so bad and so catastrophic that you can almost not You'd have to be blind not to see it. You really would. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, girls are being excluded as Afghan secondary schools reopen. They're excluding the girls. Only boys and male teachers are allowed back into the classrooms. Did I hear that girls can go up to 6th grade, right? They can get up to a 6th grade education.
Oh, wow.
Because they're dangerous after that. You know what I mean? You start getting to 7th grade, the middle school years, and it's just too frightening to have them learn those kinds of things. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that. What if a woman, for instance, knew geometry? You know? You can't have that.
Can't have that.
You can't have it.
Yeah, you're right. Through 6th grade. Mm-hmm.
Through 6th grade. So that's pretty generous, okay?
What do you want?
Shut up. What do you want? You want to go to middle school? You can't. Come on now. We can't have you learning geometry or let's say, anything like physics, even trigonometry. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. No.
I mean, and let's be honest. As someone who's been through it, middle school sucked.
It did.
I mean,
it did.
Just lay it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Not missing out on much.
Right. Under the new government, all women will be allowed to study and work in accordance with the group's interpretation of Islamic religious law.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. The working women have been told to stay at home until the security situation improves. And Taliban fighters have beaten women protesting against the all-male interim government.
Oh, jeez.
On Friday, the Islamist group appeared to have shut down the Women Affairs Ministry and replaced it with a department that once enforced strict religious doctrines. Oh, okay. A statement issued ahead of Afghan schools reopening said all male teachers and students should attend their educational institutions. All male teachers and students. Women need not apply, of course. But again, up to 6, you can get a 6th grade education. So that's pretty magnanimous. This is not your grandfather's Taliban. This is a new and improved, where they're willing to allow you to go to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, sad here in America, yeah, it's tragic because they've had 20 years, almost 20 years of freedom.
I mean, if you're 20 years old in that country, you know,
yeah. Oh,
this is brand new. This is what is happening.
Really bad. Los Angeles high school classroom was revealed to be adorned with anti-police posters, Black Lives Matter, and LGBTQIAA2+ flags, and other left-wing symbols by a parent who sent photos to an activist parents group. The nonprofit organization Parents Defending Education tweeted out the pictures from the classroom at Alexander Hamilton High School.
Look at that.
Jeez.
Oh, gosh. Look at that. That's a Christopher Columbus poster. F America. This is native land.
F the police.
Oh, boy. So in America, we leave our kids in school, and then they get brainwashed to this.
Other decorations included a Palestinian flag and a poster condemning Americans for occupying native land.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah, that's great.
This is fun.
Isn't it fun?
It's healthy for a nation, too.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, you want your kids to be anti-American by the time they get out of school, right? Because then
that's the goal, right?
They grow up and they completely fundamentally transform the United States of America from the great nation it is to a pit.
So they don't magically just start loving the country when they become adults and get out on their own. They're just like, wow,
isn't that strange?
Get out of that crazy school stuff. Now I love America.
I love it. Man, what a great country we have. Yeah, you don't have any chance when you're teaching them this kind of garbage. You don't have a chance. This generation will not love, support, respect this country. And then you're going to ask them to lead it? How is that going to turn out? I don't see that turning out real well.
We're fine, man.
Yeah? Okay.
Everything is so fine.
All right.
It's good.
As long as you're a part of a team, everything's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We learned that a few years ago. So shut up about it.
Right.
Okay?
Too much griping.
Just watch some TV. A lot of TV to watch.
Yeah. And there's nothing there that'll upset you or
no, that's right.
destroy the country either.
That's right. Nothing. It's all good stuff.
Oh, man.
Jeez. And then we wonder why we've got problems. You know, we wonder.
Do we wonder anymore? I think we figured it out.
I don't. I kind of know why we have problems. Cambridge is now apologizing for the whiteness of Roman statues. So I guess there's some statues on the campus, Cambridge University, and they're pretty much images that are Roman and Greek in nature, as a lot of statues are. But the school wants to make sure that diversity isn't downplayed, and so they're kind of pissed off about the Roman statues that seem to present white people.
Oh, no.
Now, they're just statues, right? They're not.
Yeah.
I mean...
And they're white people with a tan, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're
in bronze.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So what do we need here?
It's just so ridiculous.
Is there anything that is seriously? Is there anything that can't be made to be offensive to somebody?
No. That's not in this day and age. In this world that we live in, everybody's going to be offended by something. I think we see that now, right? Somebody is going to be offended by virtually anything and everything, and there's no way to completely safety seal society for them.
I contend that our attempts to safety seal society is why we have collectively hyper freaked out during this pandemic over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
But what is the thing here? Are they apologizing and that's it? Because if they think that's where this ends, they're wrong.
They're starting to think about, and they haven't done it, but they're getting together to talk about removing the statues.
Exactly. Okay, so within a year,
they'll be gone.
They're gone.
They'll be gone.
They're gone.
And we'll completely rewrite all history.
Exactly.
It'll be completely rewritten and reformed into, like this New York Times person with the 1619 Project. And it's not even real history, but that doesn't matter because it's history that the left likes. And so we'll just start teaching it. They're already doing it, actually, in many schools. They're already featuring the 1619 Project.
Homeschool.
Yes. Yeah, it does come down to that a lot, doesn't it? Because anytime you talk about education, it's going to hell at such a rate that what else can you do? If you want to save your children, if you want to protect them from this propaganda, maybe you're in a school system and you've already checked into this and you already made sure that they're not getting this kind of propaganda. Well, then that's great. But if you don't know, you should find out. And if you find out and don't like it, then you got to take you have to take steps.
I mean, the bottom line is, and I've said this till I'm blue in the face, nobody cares more about your child's education and well-being than you. And I have to add well-being in there as well now because the mask stupidity and forced vaccinations in Los Angeles school district when January rolls around. So nobody cares more about your child's education and well-being than you.
We've got this guy. Is this guy telling us how to deal with the unvaxxed?
Well, he's got a message. If you're unvaxxed, this guy's got a message for this is good stuff.
Okay.
Funny.
Hi, this is a little message to the unvaccinated. You are killing everyone. It's your fault. You're being selfish, so get the vaccine because I'm vaccinated. I am vaccinated, okay? And so I'm protected because the vaccine is safe and effective. So if you're around me and you're unvaccinated, then you're putting me at well, you're not. Okay. So you're selfish because if I'm protected and you're around me, then I'm fine, but you're me. Sorry. If you're not vaccinated, then you're not. You're racist. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
There it is.
He finally got to it. Yeah, he got to it. That's similar to the girl who does the.
Oh yeah.
We should play that again because I love that thing.
Oh, okay.
She's great too.
Hopefully Rob keeps that on standby.
I think he put it on standby because we've called for it so darn
But
many
yeah,
times.
but that's Commodore 64.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know if it's.
Oh. Did you get the vaccine? No. Why? Why didn't you get it? What if you catch COVID?
Mm-hmm.
The vaccine doesn't stop you from catching COVID. Why are you being so selfish? What if you catch it and give it to me? But you've been vaccinated. Yeah, but you can still give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
What's the vaccine for then? It'll stop you from getting really sick and dying if you catch it. So if I catch it and give it to you, but you've already had the vaccine, it'll still stop you from getting really sick and dying. Exactly. That's why you should get it. That's why I should get it, but you got it already. But if you catch it, you could get sick and die. So by not getting the vaccine, the only person I'm putting at risk is myself of getting sick and dying? No, you're putting me at risk. Didn't you already get the vaccine so you won't get sick and die, even if I gave it to you? But you could give it to someone who can't be vaccinated. But so could someone who's been vaccinated, because the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. Just do it, okay?
That's what it comes down to. Just do it, okay? Or you're racist.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Right, that's right.
The two fallback positions that they have now.
So this next video in front of you, this is similar logic. This is why you need to get the vaccine.
All right. Okay.
I don't know about y'all, but my doctor is informing me that this deadly Delta variant of the COVID virus, it's hunting us all down. And I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that I don't get it. I'm trying to be a good citizen. So I have a request. Please, take your vitamins today. Don't be selfish and not take your vitamins, because if you don't take your vitamins, mine don't work.
That's
if
great.
you don't take your vitamins, mine don't work.
Mine don't work.
So that's the logic, period.
Is so good. That's exactly what it's like.
And it's laughable when you just watch a video or something like that. And then you stop and go, oh my gosh, wait, that's actually how we're running our society.
Yeah. That was a great performance by her, too. I thought that was a sincere, vaccine thing. All right, let me tell you about Omega XL. If there's pain in your life and it's brought on by inflammation, Omega XL could be a game changer for you. This to relieve you from all that pain, that nagging agony every day that sometimes is bad enough you just don't even want to get out of bed. This is backed by 35 years of clinical research. Omega XL attacks the inflammation and has basically an off switch. So once the inflammation goes away, then so does the pain. Really good stuff. Plus, it's all natural. It's not, and for some people, maybe that's a little bit of a drawback. Like, it took me a while to take it because I thought, it's all natural. And for some reason, that was a deterrent. No, it's a really good thing. And when I finally started taking it and it built up in my system, after a week, I started getting relief. And after 2 weeks, the pain was just gone. So it's not something you're going to become dependent upon. This is from the waters, the omega fatty acids from the waters around New Zealand. And they've been studying it for a long time. It really does work. To get you started, when you order one bottle of Omega XL right now, you'll get a second bottle free. Go to omegaxl.com/Pat. omegaxl.com/Pat. Buy one, get one free. Or you can call 800-844-4888.
Why, yes, there is a phone number you can call. 888-900-3393. It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
That's interesting.
Point of personal privilege.
Yes. Go ahead.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Welcome. 888-900-3393. Remember country singer Morgan Wallen? Was it last year when he got into trouble? He was
yeah.
on a bender with some friends, and then they got home, and they're stumbling around going into his house, and he calls one of them the N-word. And somehow that got picked up, and he was beat to a pulp for it. By
the press.
And because he was being beaten to a pulp and he didn't want to get canceled, he pledged to donate $500,000 from his album sales to black-led organizations and charities to try to atone for it. Now, there's nothing you could do or say that's going to placate these people. The leftists who want your hide, they're going to get it anyway. But he said, before this incident, my album was already doing well. It was already being well received by critics and by fans. Me and my team noticed that whenever this whole incident happened, there was a spike in my sales. So sales actually went up.
Awesome.
It just alerted people to him. And so they checked it out, probably listened to his song, and then liked it and bought it. He said, so we tried to calculate how much it had spiked from the incident. We got to a number somewhere around $500,000. And we decided to donate that money to some organizations. BMAC being the first one. So BMAC is the Black Music Action Coalition. And so that was the first organization they were going to give to, and they did. They gave $165,000 in April of this year to them. And now the organization is complaining that while we are appreciative of that money, which has been used to make grants directly to black musicians through our COVID Emergency Relief Fund, we remain disappointed that Morgan has not used his platform to support any anti-racism endeavors.
Never enough, man.
It's never enough. Nope. Okay, he gave $165,000 to you, and you're whining still? What anti-racism thing is he supposed to do? Come on. So then, in an attempt to find the other organizations that received donations from him, Rolling Stone reached out to 56 other state, regional, and national black-led or black-founded charities. Now, did he give to any of these? I don't know. He might have. He might have given to them anonymously, so you're not going to know it. He might have given to some other organization that's not one of these 56. In any event, it's none of anybody else's business whether or not this guy gave the rest of it to anybody. God. It's unbelievable. They're just trying to track him down and ruin his career because it didn't work the first time around. So now they're reaching out and trying to do it again. God, people just are never happy. They must make anybody who they don't like or they don't relate to, they must make them miserable.
What does Jeffy always say? Never bend the knee, right? Because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It does not matter to them.
Yep. Well, Ken Burns has noticed the shape we're in. You know, documentarian, historian, documentary filmmaker, Ken Burns. He did that really long documentary on baseball.
Civil War.
He did that really long, like 38-part series on bees.
Bees?
Uh-huh.
That's right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
And I think there was like a 72-part series on crickets.
Oh, wow. No, yeah. I got to get that one.
And then there was a year and a half series on gerbils. So
now that sounds not as good.
Really? No.
You had me at crickets or
every night for a year and a half. He had a 2-hour presentation on gerbils. So, I mean, the guy is really thorough. He's really thorough. Everything you ever wanted to know about a gerbil.
And things you didn't.
And a lot of things you didn't want to know.
Right.
Were all contained in that series.
Goodness. Who was the narrator? Was it Richard Gere?
It was Steve.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve was really good, too. Now, he made these remarks. He said that this is one of the worst times in American history. Yep. Now, I don't know if Ken Burns agrees with us to why.
No, he does not.
I don't think he does.
He does not.
So I'd love to hear his thoughts on what he thinks is so bad right now.
Don't know that you would.
I don't know. I would what? I mean, I know why we think it's so bad, but he says it's really serious. There are 3 great crises before this.
Okay.
The Civil War, the Depression, and World War II. We all agree to that, right? Those are bad times. This is equal to it. So I don't know his thoughts on why.
Yeah.
But it can't be this, right? It's not the same as us.
No. I as you're reading that story, I remember something a while back.
On Ken Burns?
Yeah. And you're right. He's not.
Well, he's in Hollywood. You got to believe he doesn't feel the way we do about things. But he's right about the dire situation we're in, where you're getting beat to a pulp just for almost nothing, just for a word you say, or because you don't agree with the prevailing theories in society. I mean, almost anything can end your career and screw up your life. So there's that. There's all kinds of oppression. There's the Biden administration that's ruining just about everything that makes this country great. But yeah, I'm guessing Ken Burns isn't citing any of those things. So we'll just have to look forward to his next incredible documentary.
So we got to black out a year and a half, 2 years for this documentary coming down the pike?
Probably, yes. Yeah, I think it's a 3-year presentation on ants.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Be interesting, though.
Pat Gray. Pat Gray.
Yeah.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Indeed. Yes. She's correct about that. 888-900-3393. And Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Don't forget, we tweet out the Blaze radio stream.
Yeah, all the streams that you need.
Give a link to that. Every day, Pat Unleashed.
Yep, every morning before the show, all the links you need, whether it's the podcast, it's the live radio stream, Pluto channel, Blaze app.
And during the really beautiful musical interludes.
Yes.
During the breaks, Corby has been throwing in some brilliant little pieces, bits and pieces of the show.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
You should try the Blaze Radio stream every day.
Should.
Just check out what Corby's going to drop during the breaks.
Indeed. All right, we got some tweets here. Lone Wolf tweets, I'm offended that Keith would ask if there's anything that can't be found offensive in some way.
Oh, man.
See?
Sorry.
See what happened there? Carl Smith tweets, it's going to get so bad that the only time you won't be required to present a vaccine passport is to vote, unless, of course, you're Republican. Yes. Joe's patience tester. Pat, are you trying to tell me the Taliban isn't keeping to the agreement they made? Well, I can't believe such an upstanding organization would do such a thing. These must be cultural differences you're mistaking for atrocities.
Oh, so it's your
probably
fault.
Right.
It's your fault, Pat.
It's probably right. I'm just too stupid, and I don't understand the subtle nuances of their culture.
Yeah, but at least you're smart enough to realize that you're too stupid.
Yes. Yes. And I can't understand why a woman, for instance, can't be educated above the 6th grade.
I mean, is it necessary?
I guess not. Apparently not, because, this is the new improved Taliban. So I love that Biden has adopted the Obama way of saying Taliban, because that's what Obama used to say all the time. Taliban.
So stupid.
Irritating.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of fun. Speaking of Obama, for years, former presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump have been political adversaries, which was never more evident than during the 2016 presidential election. Obama felt that former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was supremely qualified. Sure he did. Sure he did. Thanks to a career in public service as a U.S. Senator from New York, as well as her work as the U.S. Top diplomat. However, after she lost the election to Trump, Obama had to start planning for what was next. On January 20th, 2017, as Trump was set to be inaugurated as the 45th president, Obama rode in a presidential limousine with Trump and Republican Roy Blunt of Missouri.
Okay.
How did Roy Blunt get into that character?
Which one of these is not like the others?
Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Roy Blunt of Missouri?
Is awesome.
Why did you just have
trivia?
Carrot Top in there.
That's trivia.
So weird. It was Barack Obama,
right,
Donald Trump, and the dial down the middle, Carrot Top. Wait, it's just weird, really.
Carrot Top for the block.
During the ride, Trump asked Obama if he could name his so what was your biggest mistake during your presidency?
That's good. I mean, one president
it's a good question.
Coming in, asking the guy who's been in there for a while.
Uh-huh. Now, this is, of course, according to the book Peril.
Okay.
And
what Obama says his biggest mistake.
What was your biggest mistake?
Okay.
And Obama paused.
Oh, wow. Okay, he's thinking this one through.
Being very thoughtful.
Probably has
He's a thoughtful guy.
He's got a lot to choose from also. It's going to take a while to go through them all.
And then he looked at Trump and said, I can't think of anything.
Oh,
you can't think of anything.
We could help him.
Yeah. Yeah, we could help him out a lot. And I'd start with Benghazi, you stupid buffoon.
Mm-hmm. And we could throw in Fast and Furious there.
Fast and Furious, holy cow.
I mean, do you really want us to
no.
do this exercise?
Should we relitigate the Obama years?
It's going to be like a Ken Burns documentary that lasts for 3 years, as you were saying.
Wow.
Just gut check. Stop.
Wow. So then Trump was kind of dumbfounded by the answer, wanted to change the subject. He's like, well, is this the car you use all the time?
Wow, what an awkward conversation.
I know. But what do those two guys have in common? Absolutely nothing. Except they've both been president.
And they've been on a car ride with Roy Blunt.
Yes.
So,
yes, which is huge.
That.
It's huge. So
I can think of
that'll be a Jeopardy question someday.
Of a mistake of Obama.
No, you can't?
Just from that article.
Huh.
He thought Hillary Clinton was supremely qualified to be president of the United States.
Oh, man.
Wow, that guy loves himself.
Oh, my gosh. Well, they always said, and what's his face? Chris Matthews. Remember him from MSNBC? Chris Matthews. He never did anything wrong. He was the perfect man, the perfect husband, the perfect father, the perfect president. You remember that rant?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if I still have that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Give him a tingle up his leg, too. Don't forget.
Yeah. That might have been it, right?
Let me finish tonight with the American president we're about to lose. Barack Obama is, above all, a fine man.
Yeah.
Just look at him. Is there a husband, a father that we would wish more as a model for our sons-in-law to have and raise our grandchildren?
Wow.
Is there anyone who carries himself better in word and sentiment and temperament and optimism? Hope. Everything he's done is clean as a whistle. He's never not only broken any law, he's never done anything wrong. He's the perfect father, the perfect husband, the perfect American.
He's the perfect American. Man. Except for that. There was a mistake. He should never have thrown out the first pitch. He seriously shouldn't. When you throw like a girl like that, and you're going to be in front of the nation, and you've been built up to be this great athlete who could have been an NBA player if he wanted to.
Right, but again, he wanted to be a public servant.
Right. He wanted to serve America. And so if you know that you throw like that, you just turn down the invitation. No, thanks. That's great, but no. I don't have time for that. So, no. Why would you do that? Why would you go out there? Because he's so egomaniacal. He thought he was good.
Yeah.
That doesn't really work, Barack, but thank you.
It's hard to... It's
Barack phony ass Obama.
Thank you. If you're a dude, it's really hard to throw that awkwardly.
It is.
You
got to use your left
correct hand. That's what I'm saying.
Or your right hand if you're left-handed.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You have to use your opposite hand.
Yes.
And even then, I guess you could... that is... Wow,
even then,
bad. Right?
I think I can do a better throwing motion than he did.
Yeah.
And I think I could get it to the catcher with my left hand.
Oh, my goodness. I could think of another mistake.
Such an embarrassment.
Leaving all that money on the tarmac there. And
all that money?
Iran.
All that money? Well, that wasn't a mistake.
Oh, that's
They needed that money.
My bad.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry.
They had some nukes they had to build.
Boy.
So, so many mistakes. That guy was, until Joe Biden, the worst. The worst. Well, I mean, he had some pretty good company because you got Johnson, LBJ, and you got Woodrow Wilson,
FDR,
and FDR. A lot of good competition there for the
Andrew
worst.
Jackson, not a fan.
Andrew Jackson was not good.
Not a fan.
No.
And then, of course,
the proof of the pudding is in eating.
There you go. Yeah. What do we know about Zachary Taylor?
Very little.
Somebody needs to
very little.
Ken Burns needs to do a
17-year presentation. In fact, we mentioned that he's got that 3-year presentation on ants.
On ants?
Yeah, on ants. And
wow.
At first, I wasn't sure if it was ants the insect or ants your relative, Oh. But I looked it up, and the first year and a half is ants the insect.
Oh, wow.
The second year and a half is on ants, so he covers the whole full spectrum.
Wow.
Your relative, like your mother's sister or your father's sister.
My relatives?
Or some people would pronounce it aunts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, ants the insect.
Ants the insect for a year and a half.
Intermission.
Yes.
For a week?
A week, I believe it is
a week off.
Uh-huh.
And then it's ants.
And then right back into ants, your relative. So that's what Ken Burns' next project.
But like again, I just want to clarify: is this my relative or your relative?
No, it's just like a relative, anybody's aunt.
For a year
he just
and
wants
a
to
half?
talk about your mother or your father's sister for a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to explore all the angles
I
there.
can dig
so,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then when do we
Again, he's thorough. He's thorough. You wouldn't think there'd be a year and a half worth of information on an ant, but there is, apparently. He found it.
So when do the uncles get their due?
Apparently, he's not going to do one on uncles.
What a jerk.
I know.
Wow, this is
he said he's sick of the patriarchy. So, and in fact, he said, peg the patriarchy. That's what he said.
No, he did not.
He didn't say that?
No, he didn't say that.
I thought that's what he said. Okay.
Boy, he said this is a really, really serious time.
He did.
But not serious enough to give uncles their due, I guess.
No. Nope.
Wow.
Okay. Uncles aren't worth it, I guess.
I guess not.
Now, the Kaiser Chiefs. Are you familiar with the Kaiser Chiefs?
I've heard that band name, and maybe I'd recognize a song. But
Garby, are you familiar with the Kaiser Chiefs? I've never heard of this band.
Should we know them? I don't know.
Apparently, they want to know your vax status at their concerts, and so they're asking everybody in the audience. How many?
See your hands again.
Let's see your
it's a
hands.
decent-sized venue.
Clean hands.
Clean hands. Okay, here we go.
Washing them.
Washing them. Kindergarten class here.
Let me hear it if you've had the Pfizer vaccine.
Oh, please. Not that many people got Pfizer.
Moderna.
Seriously?
AstraZeneca.
How stupid is this?
Do we have any anti-vaxxers? Oh.
Unbelievable.
Oh, and then, of course, the booze.
Probably not allowed in there if you're an anti-vaxxer.
Hands in the air. Yeah, you've got clean hands. I can see. It's good.
Yeah, they got 3 hands. That's from the vaccine, douche.
No, clean hands.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 3 hands.
Grown a third tail.
I haven't grown a third tail. Man, that sounds like Eeyore. Play it again, Sam.
Haven't grown a third tail.
I haven't grown a third tail.
Oh, well. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, right?
I think that's how you should intro him tomorrow. Chewing the fat with Eeyore.
Eeyore. 888-900-3393. Also, at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, New York has outlawed selling new gas-powered vehicles by 2035. A bill was signed into law last week by Governor Kathy Hochul.
Oh.
That's the first time I've said that.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively outlawing the sale of new gas-powered vehicles in less than 14 years. Good luck with that.
I can't.
Good luck. No way. It sets a goal that 100% of all passenger cars, trucks, and off-road vehicles will be zero emission. The goal is 2045 for larger vehicles and such as medium and heavy-duty trucks and buses.
Mm-hmm.
But passenger vehicles, gone as far as gas-powered. By 2035, that's impossible.
Like, think about... Okay, so how many years is that again? We got 35, 14 years? Wow. So think back to 2007.
Mm-hmm.
That's how far removed we are, if you want to play that.
Yeah, right.
And that is not that far back. In the scope of things, like just completely revamping an entire industry in New York State. I'm sorry. All the people in New York are going to do is take their money across state lines and think of the tri-state region. I mean, you can get to Connecticut or New Jersey instantly.
And remember what Gregory Wrightstone said last week about electric vehicles and how impractical they are.
Mm-hmm.
The batteries are toxic. What do you do with them when you dispose of them? Now you're going to have every single car be electric with one of those batteries, and they burst into flame.
And there's nothing but parking garages in New York City.
So what are you going to do when these things start bursting into flame all over the island? What are you going to do? It's just impractical.
It's so impractical.
There are so many unintended or maybe even intended consequences from this switchover that I don't know how that's going to go well.
That's not going to go well. And there's going to be so many loopholes. People are going to get around it. And you know what happens? When you make a purchase in another state, your state doesn't get the taxes from that.
Right. Right.
Boy.
And green energy is dangerous. A little video to illustrate that point. Little green energy situation
here. It's an animal video. Ha, you've been tricked. No, just watch this. These horses are running. They're like, wait, why are the horses like freaking out? What's going on? And
this thing's about to go.
Oh, it must be making some noise. Oh, booyah.
It just exploded.
Game over. I would have loved to have heard the audio of that. Like the horses probably heard. I don't know.
And it's interesting that they knew to run at that point.
Well, yeah.
Or they're going to be killed.
I don't know what that sound is, but I'm getting away from it. Can I see that again?
We have so many wind turbines. I've never.
Oh, yeah. You drive out west.
Oh, man.
Just outside the city.
Oklahoma and Texas are loaded with wind turbines.
Or littered.
And here we go. As it starts to go really fast and then just blows up.
Oh.
Jeez.
Hey, those things are annoying, too. Just because they ruin the landscape, man.
Yeah.
You're driving out there and stuff. And then what do you do with them when you're when they've served their purpose? You have to bury them, apparently. And there's this picture somebody sent me from the middle of nowhere in Wyoming where they're just burying
where they're
these
burying wind turbines?
The blades, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
why do you have to bury them?
I don't know. It's probably like the car battery stuff.
So they can't. Yeah,
I have no idea.
They probably can't be recycled. Yeah. They're probably hazardous to the earth.
Right? Hold on.
So
are they? I wonder.
I bet they are. I'll bet they are.
Wind turbines. Yeah. Sorry. I asked for that picture a long time ago. Let's see.
By the way, as you look for that, the Biden administration released a blueprint showing how the nation could move toward producing almost half of its electricity from the sun by 2050.
Not going to happen.
Potentially big step toward fighting climate change, but one that would require vast upgrades to the electric grid. Yeah, this is interesting. You know how much green energy produces, how much of our energy is produced by wind and solar right now? If you combine them, it's like 6 or 7%. 6 or 7%! I mean, we are nowhere near being able to use this for the majority of our energy needs.
We are so good as a society, whether on a federal level with this story or a local level with the New York story, of finding out new ways to commit suicide as a society.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just madness. It's just madness.
It's not clear how hard the administration will push to advance solar energy through legislation and regulations. Officials have provided only a broad outline for how they hope to clean up the country's energy system and its cars and trucks. Many details will ultimately be decided by Congress, but it's working on a bipartisan infrastructure bill and a much larger Democrat measure that could authorize, of course, the $3.5 trillion in spending. That's kind of in trouble right now. Seems like Manchin may be the key to stopping that. He really doesn't want to spend $3.5 trillion. He doesn't want to do it. So getting there will mean trillions of dollars in investments by homeowners and the government. The electric grid, built for coal, natural gas, nuclear power, would have to be almost completely remade with the addition of batteries, transmission lines, and other technologies that can soak up electricity when the sun's shining and then send it from one corner of the country to another.
Okay.
Can you imagine how much those upgrades are going to cost?
Yeah.
Literally trillions of dollars. Trillions.
And let's not put too much stock in green energy. We saw where it got Texas in February with the wind turbines freezing up.
Yes.
And then it was also a power plant or something. I forgot what it was that I don't know. They were doing maintenance on it as well. You can't shut down a power station and then trust green energy to fill in the void there.
No, it didn't work.
By the way, to answer your question on the wind turbines being the blades being toxic,
why they have to be buried.
So they can be toxic because of the materials used to make them. No problem with the fiberglass, but with the composite materials added to make the wind turbine blades. These composite materials often contain toxic plastics that are hazardous to the environment. Oh, wait, I thought we were trying to help the environment. Some of these plastics have bisphenol A, I don't know, a very hazardous chemical. So what they're having to do, so I don't know, Rob, if you have this picture still. I sent it a while back. I forgot to ask for it today. But this right here, what you're looking at, this right there, just at the tip of my finger is a bulldozer. Okay? That little shiny speck right there. All these are wind turbines that are being buried. Back here, they've already been buried. This is a colossal problem for the environment. They always have solutions that end up shooting ourselves in the foot. Again.
Now, I knew about the batteries. I did not know about the wind turbines being toxic.
Either.
I didn't know that. And then even the wind turbines are toxic.
Oh, I stopped reading. I should have read the next sentence. In fact, in some parts of the world, plastics containing bisphenol A have been banned from being used. But yet, we are littering our countryside with these things, and now we have to bury them.
And I'll bet you no states in the Union have as many wind turbines as Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
I know they're in southern Colorado. You see a ton of them down there. Those are the three places that...
Where are they in California and Massachusetts? I wonder. Illinois. Why aren't you featuring wind turbines all over the place?
If you will recall, off of Martha's Vineyard a while back... They said, wait, it's so windy off the coast here, the Atlantic.
Let's put wind turbines up.
And was it Ted Kennedy?
It was the Kennedys.
Yeah, it was the Kennedys.
Said, no. No,
see, we like the view of the ocean.
Yeah, we don't want wind turbines in our path, in our view. It's amazing.
And they do kill birds, man. Because birds,
oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, if birds were real, I should say.
Right.
They kill the robotic entities that fly into them.
Which is maybe a good thing, since we're being spied on by these things.
You'd think whoever's piloting those drone birds, they would steer away from the...
Yeah, you would. Also, for the first time, the heads of the Catholic, Anglican, and Eastern Orthodox churches have come together to draw attention, finally.
Okay, to what?
To the climate crisis. Yeah, so that's really good.
Oh, that is...
They called on all people to look beyond their immediate interests in order to care for the poor and preserve natural resources for future generations. As leaders of our churches, we call on everyone, whatever their belief or worldview, to endeavor to listen to the cry of the earth.
Wait, who's saying this? Christian leaders?
Yeah, heads of the Catholic, Anglican, and Eastern Orthodox churches.
And they're speaking for Gaia now?
Yeah. The cry of the earth and of people who are poor, examining their behavior and pledging meaningful sacrifices for the sake of the earth which God has given us. I can't take it. I just can't take it no more. This is the first time that the three of us feel compelled to address together the urgency of environmental sustainability, its impact on persistent poverty, and the importance of global cooperation.
Wow.
I can't believe they bought into this garbage.
Social justice statement.
This is frightening. The statement traces the climate situation to human selfishness. Shut up. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
How many of these poor people that they care so much about
Dang it.
and want to see brought out of poverty are they benefit from, capitalism? And fixing the world that way, as opposed to these meaningless statements about
As
Gaia.
opposed to wind turbines that are actually more toxic to the earth than any other fossil fuels we're using right now.
Unreal.
See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.